It may be the holiday season, but things aren't all that cheerful for everyone. With another week of interesting calls,
There's no penalty on the play.
huge hits, and patented Buffalo Sabres hockey, it's hard not to think I do have a lot to be thankful for.
I'd rather be in this position than Buffalo, so.
Whether it was incredible goals, some hilarious moments, or just great sound bites,
always watching.
Oh, Jesus, got a face for radio right there.
That's a crazy duster. He's got a lot of luggage on that lip.
Oh, my God. Next question.
there's plenty to cover, so let's get to it. Now, the theme this week seemed to be busted up faces, and more proof that hockey players are as tough as they come. Starting with Hyman in Edmonton, who caught a booch bomb up high as, ouch, he was leaking heavily, and to start the third, he's out there anyway, rocking the bubble, and thanks to Sportsnet, we get to see what he was seeing. But it hasn't slowed him down. If anything, Hyman is stronger than ever, with goals in 6 straight.
Feels okay. Broken nose. Feel good?
Well, bud, you don't look good. Down the road in Calgary, it was Sens captain Tkachuk who caught a stick up high as he was leaking and needed repairs, but surprise, surprise, he was out there to start the third, and wouldn't you know it, he'd go on to score the overtime winner to boot. Of course he did.
Stitcher's one tooth gone, so, oh Jesus, got a face for radio right there. That ain't good.
Missing teeth and hockey players are synonymous. So, from Revo and Domi, Merry Christmas. Oh, sorry boys, I'm just going to answer that real quick. Moving on, here is real footage of Sabres and Predators hockey.
Our story is the story of two guys who start at the bottom and with a lot of hard work continue along the bottom and finally end up at the bottom.
As the Sabres this week proved that even when they do score a goal, they cannot catch a break, as this one was overturned due to a missed penalty earlier in the sequence. It's not something you see every day, but rather than a tied game, it was now a double minor, which, of course it did, resulted in a 2-0 deficit. They literally cannot catch a break. So remember, no matter how things are getting for you, you could always be Buffalo.
I'd rather be in this position than Buffalo, so you know what? It's not that bad.
Then, in this week of keeping up with the Canucks,
I don't know why people still trying to make up.
I'm not, listen, you guys, in a sense, out of the outer world have created this thing.
It hasn't been distracting you.
Oh my God. Next question.
I can bring up PD and we can do the interview together if that would make you guys happy. I don't care. You guys want to talk about it? You want to ask me all you want.
Yes, please.
This team get where it needs to go.
Where do we want to go?
Canadian media. This week, we also saw the return of Matt Rempe, and yeah, it went about as you'd expect. He would lay a nasty hit on Heiskanen. It's boarding, the elbow, I mean, you name it, as he got another game misconduct, which resulted in another sussy. In 22 games, he's had 11 games suspended. For every 2 games he's played, he's been suspended for 1. With 4 ejections, that's more than he has points, and to boot, he's got 95 penalty minutes. Impressive. In honor of that, how about we take a look at the nasty from this week, because we got our fair share.
5 minutes each for fighting.
In Dallas, it was Pacioretty nailing Bork, even popping the lid off with his stick. Over in Montreal, it was Samuelsson rocking Doc, who didn't even touch the puck. We had Thompson in Buffalo sitting down Matthews, and after breaking his stick, decided to take out his frustrations on Turcotte in Philly, as the Flyers were even catching themselves with a little friendly fire. Heading back to Edmonton, it was Greer nailing Podkolzin, as, yeah, the Cats and the Oilers would go at it. We had another lid pop off in Vancouver from Miller on Lehkonen, and finally in Calgary, it was Pospisil crushing Nazar, which led to a scrum. But it wasn't over there. A little while later, it was Pospisil again with Bertuzzi in a headlock, so Bertuzzi gives a one-handed slash to Huberdeau, and you guessed it, things went off again. They'd both end up getting the boot, but on the way out, Uyghur wished Bertuzzi a Merry Christmas as he waved them goodbye. But if the look from Rossi here is any indication, it's time to lighten things up a bit. So let's move on with a round of quick ones. In Carolina, after beating the Islanders, Blake and Stormy were not on the same page. Stormy wanted to jump on his back, while Blake's like, chill, I just wanted to tell you what I want for Christmas. And so while Santa may see you when you're sleeping, so does Lou Lamoriello, as this was great. With the Jets signing Kevin He this week, he became the first Chinese-born player to sign to an NHL team. Keeping it in the family, the Joseph brothers had a fantastic photo shoot in St. Louis just in time for P.O. to get traded. Unfortunate. Something Marchman learned a lot about this week. First, he gets a cross-check. Then the puck lands on his head before even his stick lets him down. I mean, a true series of unfortunate events. Something that the Capitals also learned a bit about. See, after taking an initial too-many-men penalty, which obviously Carberry wasn't too pleased about, it's Strome getting sent to the box. However, the Capitals did a good job and killed it off. But right when it expired, here, there's 5 guys on the ice. So Protas tries to dart off the ice, which he does, so that Strome could get out of the box down here, but it was another error as immediately they were called with another too many men. But no coach was more angry this week than Torts was. See, after ref Michael Markovic clearly puts his arm up here, Konechny would come out as the extra man, but he didn't see that Markovic had quickly put his arm down. So here the Flyers clearly have 6 guys. They have possession, but nothing gets called. The Red Wings would then get possession. They'd come all the way back down, and suddenly there is a penalty. It is too many men for the Flyers, and Torts was incensed. You put your fucking hand up. Yes, you did. Hathaway is like, is this even real life right now? To be fair, the officials huddled up and made sure to get this right as the too many men was called back.
There is no penalty on the play.
No penalties were given, but it was entertaining. And so was Slavkovsky's thoughts on the media.
What do you guys say? No. Well, I couldn't really care less. I only laugh because you lose another game, then everything is bad, so it's kind of funny.
Another good scrum moment this week came from Dylan Guenther, who, when asked about McBain's filthy lip caterpillar.
Yeah, that's a crazy duster. He's got a lot of luggage on that lip. But
this week, we also got a mini Teemu Selanne throwback in Anaheim as this kid had the celly down. Then, after getting the OT winner in Calgary, Pasta stayed nice and hydrated as Frederick made sure of it. What was also good was after Barkov's OT winner in Sunrise, this guy showed his appreciation. But with that, how about we get to the goals? Kiefer Sherwood had himself a night, scoring all 3 Vancouver goals for the Natty Hattie, and the Canucks faithful were loving it. It was nice for Demko, too.
It's always nice when you meet a guy on the other side of it and you can cross him off your do not have a friendship with list. So,
but we had plenty of noteworthy goals this week. So let's start with Reinhart in Edmonton, who scored a beauty. From well below the line, he fires this thing off of Skinner and in, and I mean, to even think of shooting here is wild. As Skinner, can't love that one. Then we had Celebrini, again, just getting so comfortable out there. Here he moves to the middle and scored a beautiful no-look backhand goal through the wickets, as this kid is for real. And so are Crosby's superstitions. After a bit of a scoring drought as of late, he was called out.
How frustrating is it for you if you haven't been able to put one of those pucks in the net?
yeah, I mean, usually when I'm asked about it, that's usually when it starts to change. So thank you.
And of course he did. He went out there and had himself a 4-point night, of course, scoring a classic Sid goal to also break the drought with a little fire in him. And speaking of fire, Patrick freaking Laine has been on one, scoring a Hattie of power play goals, as he has 8 power play goals in 9 games. But when this is what the goalie sees, yeah, it's going to be tough. And rounding it out with the goalies, we had Fleury this week doing his best reverse Sean Avery on Rodriguez, which was pretty great. We had Ersson in Philly with... stay in your net. Yep. If there's one thing we've learned. Over in Carolina, we had Kochekov come out and stay in your... Oh, all right. I'll concede sometimes it works out. As the goalies did have some phenomenal stops this week. Starting it out, we had Elvis, who I don't even know how he was able to kick this one out. In Washington, it was Lindgren with maybe the save of the year. He goes old school windmill, cartwheel, whatever you want to call it. That was tasty. And what's crazy is he was throwing up in between periods.
Intermission.
Then we had Aiden Hill at home show us he is ready for the Four Nations face-off with a great save. Bobrovsky in Edmonton had a classic Bob stop. He drops the stick to get across, as that was a bit of a trend this week. We had Kochekov just straight up launching his stick. I freaking love this dude. In Vancouver, it was Lankinen punching his stick towards the puck to make a stop. I mean, that's a new one. And as was this in Detroit, Montembeault able to stay completely still to get the whistle and save one with his neck. But guys, that's going to be about it for me. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to leave you with this.